Alright, we are doing a quick little tank update video. Haven't done one in a couple months since we got this tank set up. So this is the 75-gallon community tank, which as you can tell, the plants are taking off and thriving. We've added a few more, like these cool little banana plants right here, is what they're called. Super cool, kind of exotic looking. We've got a little, cluster of them over here as well. So I think the last time we did a video on this, all we had done was added the X-ray tetras. So obviously we have added a lot since then. We've got the red-eye tetras that went in right after, as well as some rummy nose tetras. We did move my rainbow shark, shinobu, as well as the yo-yo loaches and bristle nose plecos over into this tank. There you can see my rainbow shark right there. She's getting nice and plump and big. I just fed this tank bloodworms, so they are nice and happy and pretty active right now. They're searching for any remaining food. Some other things that we did add in here as well. We did a female little beta sorority, as you can see, two up there in that top corner. Let's see if we can get a good focus on some of them. They're hard to focus, they move so quick. As well as our fancy shrimp and a few things like that. But anyway, we're probably going to move the beta sorority out of this tank into their own tank. Once we got them in here, to me it just seemed like a little bit much. And I liked the flow of all the other fish before we had them in here, essentially. So again, there's some more shrimp right there, one of our black rose shrimp. A lot of plants have really taken off again. I'm excited for these ones on the left to start hitting the top like they are, and they're going to start blowing in that little current that we have. So my current, obviously I've got it hitting the top of the water, agitating the surface, keeping it moving across the top. But then I've got the end turned down to where it creates a undercurrent basically, so it pushes a lot of current, and I've got it turned up about all the way, that filter. So we've got a lot of current. One of the betas just found another bloodworm, gulping it up. Shinobu's looking good, getting big. So one thing, probably my biggest surprise in this tank for fish that I wasn't already pretty happy with, like my rainbow shark and my loaches, the red-eyed tetras are a super active and awesome fish. They almost look like little tarpons, but they start to get some really good iridescence in them. You can see that green shimmer on them when they get in light. I mean, such a pretty fish. And again, super active, very food active as well, food driven. So, a lot of good feeding when you feed them, hit the surface well. But yeah, just want to do a quick little update. A lot of the first plants that we put in started to die. These are starting to kind of grow back in, as well as these are starting to grow back in, but everything else is thriving. We do have some Corydoras that were added into here as well. They like to hang out in the back, and they have also got their own little set of bloodworms back here. Let's see if we can find them. I think they scurried away when I came around. Corydoras, there's only two of them. I would like to get a couple more of them in here. I know I should have more than that in here. They do like to school, so as you can see, but they do always hang out together. You don't see one without the other typically. And again, they're eating, they're back there, they're happy. Rummy nose tetras also very active, great little swimmers. So the fish I set up in here, I did kind of a color wave, the silvers, a lot of natural. I didn't want a lot of bright popping fish. That's why we're probably going to move the betas back out of here. But I kind of like the rummy nose school well, and they're constantly active across the bottom, just like you're seeing now. It's always like that. And then you have the red eyes and the X-rays that kind of cruise more the mid-water and the top. And then I've got my actual, bottom-dwelling fish like my rainbow shark, my yo-yo loaches, my Corydoras, the bristlenose plecos. My loaches are back there. They're actually extremely active. I don't know why they're hiding right now. They're usually the center of the show. Let's see if we can back up off the tank a little bit and get some little action. So Shinobu's also getting pretty big. Her iridescence is always pretty on her, but she's another one. Doesn't often get up too high into the light, so you don't get a lot of her her iridescence always, but it is nice when she gets up there in the current a little bit. She does like to swim against that wave maker. As you can see the plecos and stuff down here. There's some of the yo-yo loaches. There's one of my yo-yo loaches. They're cruising. Like I said, I just fed, so they are ferocious eaters. So they're probably looking and finding remnants of food everywhere. And then we've got the 10-gallon over here that is also doing really well, that I have my male beta in, that I'm probably going to try to breed at some point with one of these females. So he's super active. He loves to come up and interact. He's a koi beta. He's got his own 10-gallon here. Again, he likes to be the center of the show, so he's not afraid to come over and say what's up. This tank is also taken off really well. Excuse me, really well. I do have an algae bloom going on that was a lot worse than this. I've contained it, and it hasn't really grown more than that. And honestly, I like a little bit of algae in there, that natural look. I've also got some duckweed and stuff on the top that's growing in. Some pothos that I set in the back that the roots are starting to grow into this. So this tank is really taken off, and I actually just trimmed this one recently. You can see the line of where I trimmed, and obviously it just stimulates that new growth. But this is Dude, so he's doing well and thriving in the 10-gallon. And then we've got the community tank. So again, just a little quick update. I want to do more of these. I've actually been slacking a little bit, and I'm probably going to do an actual feeding video the next time I do feed. But again, I'll save that for next time. I didn't want to try to throw too much in a video. So again, here's some of the plants, some of the growth. This plant right here also was only 2 or 3 leaves when we first put it back in here. I'll put a link to the setup of the 75-gallon. We also love this lace plant back here. It's got a lot of new growth and super cool kind of plant. As well as, again, the banana plants. Alex, my wife, she absolutely loves those. These leaves will actually grow all the way up to the top, and they will be lily pads, about 4 to 6 inch lily pads on the top of the water, which will be really cool as well. So we're going to keep updating as this tank continues to grow. One thing I do love about it, which I attribute to the amount of plants in here, but I mean super little maintenance. This water rarely gets cloudy. I do fairly regular small water changes. I don't really do big ones yet. Still letting the tank gets fully cycled. It's only been set up for 2 months, maybe. That might even be pushing it a little bit. Halloween is when the 10-gallon got set up, and it's obviously booming. But we're going to do some more update videos in the future. I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you got any questions, drop a comment. Leave a like and sub if you haven't already, and let me know what you think. Thanks, y'all.